Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife. In today's McDojo news, we're going to talk about how an Aikido instructor in Spain was recently charged after a $6,000 boob job led to the death of a patient. Let's check out the story. An anesthesiologist who was arrested in connection with the death of a British woman following a botched $6,000 boob job at a clinic in Spain was already in prison for manslaughter of another patient. Mateo Verde Vallespir, age 69, was read his rights after being pulled out of prison and was accused of gross negligence manslaughter in the fresh case of alleged malpractice at the clinic on the island of Majorca. An unnamed British woman, believed to have been in her 30s when she died last year, paid thousands of pounds to have breast implant replacement surgery and suffered a cardiac arrest immediately after the operation on September 13th, then died in intensive care 2 weeks later. Island paper Ultima Hora reported last December that the woman had a congenital heart defect, meaning 25% of her heart did not work properly. Vallespir, a martial arts expert, was pictured for the first time as Spanish police confirmed he flouted a medical ban linked to other offenses and continued operating before he was ordered to start serving his prison terms. He was handed a 1-year sentence behind bars and given a 3-year striking off order that banned him from working as a health practitioner or running medical clinics. Vallespir, who taught Aikido before being jailed, was convicted of manslaughter following the death of Fatima Cherkeo, age 45, on March 7, 2017, 1 day after a liposuction procedure. The anesthesiologist was involved with the operation at another medical center he ran in Palma before he took over management at Clínica Luz, also in the city, where the British woman had the cosmetic surgery procedure. Spanish judges concluded that those involved in the operation were medically negligent and it had led to the British woman to suffer a heart attack and hemorrhaging. Vallespir had been sentenced to 2.5 years imprisonment at the end of 2021 for using unqualified staff to perform nursing duties at the clinic where Fatima died. Local outlets reported cleaning staff were asked to take blood from patients. He was not ordered to start serving his sentence immediately, as countries like Spain allow convicted criminals to be spared pending possible appeals. Police in Majorca said Vallespir had allegedly taken advantage of the delay to take part in the British woman's botched operation. The surgeon who carried out the operation cannot be arrested as he died of an illness last year. A spokesperson for the National Police in Majorca confirmed the arrest, adding, quote, "National police officers have arrested a 69-year-old responsible for managing a clinic in Palma, where he also worked as a practitioner, for crimes of gross negligence, manslaughter, and breaching a medical ban following the death of a patient. A young woman of British origin underwent cosmetic surgery at a clinic in Palma. During the operation, and for reasons which are still being investigated, the victim went into cardiac arrest and had to be transferred urgently to San Espacios University Hospital. After being admitted to intensive care for almost 2 weeks, she died on September 13th of last year as a result of the serious injuries she suffered during the cardiac arrest. The National Police in Majorca said the woman's family had lodged a complaint against those involved in the surgery and added, quote, "Our homicide unit began an investigation, and after gathering together all the documentation related to medical intervention and taking statements from health professionals, arrested the director of the clinic, who was also a medical practitioner." Investigators have accused one of the other 2 health professionals who participated in the surgery of the same type of manslaughter crime as the clinic director. The other man cannot be accused of any crime due to his sudden death 2 months after the surgery. Police said multiple irregularities have been found during the investigation, which involved the victim, quote, "asking the health professionals to practice a second cosmetic procedure as she went into the operating room. They allegedly agreed to perform it without telling the woman about the risks. It was when they were preparing to perform the second surgery that the victim went into cardiac arrest," police added. Another irregularity detected was that the patient signed consent forms for the scheduled surgery the morning the surgery took place and were written in Spanish when the British woman, according to her family, did not know how to read Spanish. Ultima Hora described the woman as a, quote, "young PR specialist who planned to move to Australia, where she planned to work for 3 months following the surgery." The surgeon who died last year was described as a, quote, "foreign man who flew to Majorca, where he had worked for decades to perform the surgery, but his nationality was not made public. Clinica Luz remains open, and a receptionist who answered the phone yesterday declined comment. There is no suggestion current managers are involved in any alleged wrongdoing over the British woman's death. The clinic boasted on its website it is, quote, in harmony with the patient and the environment that surrounds us. It added, at Clinic Luz, we are differentiated by a medical care that is very focused on each patient with the warmth and comfort of doing so in an ideal environment. Let's unpack that. So this dude is an anesthesiologist and also an Aikido instructor, or he was before he got put in jail. He then gets arrested and convicted for malpractice. While he was waiting for imprisonment for the first crime, he apparently was able to practice multiple surgeries after that, one of which got someone else killed. So he's sitting in jail, all of a sudden police show up and say, hey, you killed someone else. What a messed up system that this guy was allowed to continue practicing medicine after he had clearly gotten one person killed. And then because of that messed up law, he was able to get a second person killed. But you're probably wondering to yourself, well, why is that here? Sure, the guy was an Aikido instructor, but I mean, this didn't happen at the martial arts facility. Why on this page then? This brings us to the question of the day, brought to you by X-Marshall. Be sure to answer the question of the day in the comment sections below, so that way you could be entered for a chance to win a $100 gift voucher that you could use at xmarshall.com. And hey, let's say you don't win. That's okay. You can still use promo code McDojo10 to get 10% off any of your purchases that you buy at xmarshall.com. Do you find yourself to be more trusting of martial arts instructors than other people? This isn't the first time we've covered people who are martial arts instructors and have another job. It's actually quite common in martial arts that martial arts instructors teach martial arts but also have a day job that typically pays their bills. Mostly, just to be honest and candid here, because they have absolutely no clue how to run a successful martial arts school. I covered one story of a martial arts practitioner who was a nurse, convinced one of his students to meet him there and did some pretty horrible things to her. I covered one story recently that was an Olympic judoka who scammed people in cryptocurrency. That also didn't happen in his martial arts facility to my knowledge. But the question that I have for you is, do you find that yourself or the general public are more trusting of martial arts black belts or martial arts instructors? There seems to be some old school mentality that just because you have a black belt means that you have things like honor and integrity and respect and discipline, etc. But that's not really true. But from covering all these stories, it seems that a lot of people seem to have a lot of trust in martial arts instructors just because they're martial arts instructors and for no real reason other than that. So what do you think? Do you or other people that you know find that you trust martial arts instructors more? Be sure to answer that question in the comment sections below, so that way you can be entered for a chance to win a $100 gift voucher to be used at xmarshall.com. As always, I'm looking forward to reading your comments in the comment sections below. Thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, memberships, and all that other crap. Check out McDojoLife.com. Keep the martial arts legit.
My baby got robbed the other day by degenerates. So she wanted to learn some new form of this self-defense. So she did her research and perused it online and found this tool said he could move shit with his mind. He called himself Seafood Paul Zimmerman. He got a dojo with a strip on his cinnamon. Now she spends all day trying to